Greetings, my people. This is your brother B, bringing to you yet again another episode 32, on this YouTube channel, Opps, Opportunities for Black and Brown, Brown and Black. And on episode 32, I'll be talking to you about being a minority here in Los Angeles, California. So, I'm Mexican, first generation Chicano and whatnot, but I consider myself Mexican and American, but more Mexican. And just when it comes to being a minority here, it's very obvious in the areas where Latinos and blacks live. And it's very obvious when you're a minority and you observe there's drugs and liquor stores where we live. And it was purposely done. Like my ancestors, when they came on the west side, Santa Monica and Venice, they landed over there because that was where they were minorities. That's the area where they were allowed to live, or certain parts of South Central and different areas. So it was purposely done to put minorities together, and then also to plant drugs. And the thing is that destroys the neighborhood. And being a minority, you're also you're targeted to a certain extent by law enforcement. Also depends how you dress, how you walk, what car you drive. But it does, could put a target on you. And just being a minority, it can affect you. For example, if you go to a school where your peoples per se are not there, because you might not have that connection. But that should not stop you from success. Being a minority and all of a sudden living in an area where you don't have your peoples might be awkward. Could be. You might not have the connection through culture and customs. But that shouldn't stop you from trying to connect. Being a minority when it comes to jobs, it can help you to a certain extent, but what I've seen, only just so there's how should I say, so the workplace doesn't seem racist, they'll promote the higher ranks some people. So as far as growth to certain heights and jobs I've seen, I'm not gonna say where I'm at, because it could be held against me. But I've observed in different places that they'll only put someone that's a minority that has a certain mindset, which could be interpreted as a sellout. And also, being a minority, some people use it to their advantage now. For example, there are Latinos, and I have family members that are like this, that they are ashamed of their culture, like speaking the language, saying that you're Mexican, or what your parents do, where they came from. They'll try to be, the term I believe is whitewashed. And the thing is, when they could use something to their advantage, they will, like a scholarship or a promotion for a job or whatever the case may be. To be honest, that is not right. You shouldn't be ashamed of who you are. But in a lot of cases, there are people that there's a saying in Mexico that, like, come on now, why are you faking the funk? Tienes el nopal en la frente. Like, why are you trying to act like that? So the thing is, some people are ashamed of being a minority. That, oh, it might stop me from success at work, or people might look at me different in a certain neighborhood, and they'll turn their name Jaime to Jimmy or Jim, or Alejandro to Alex. And these are just examples, you know. And the thing is, there have been examples of people I know that they put in their job application their real name Alejandro so and so, and then they didn't get the job, and then later they applied Alex Alvarez and whatnot, and it worked. So when it comes to that, it shouldn't have to be that way, and people shouldn't be ashamed of being who they are. And unfortunately, there are people that in front of, I don't know, the elite or white people, you know, they might say like racist jokes, and they won't even call it out. Like, hey, dude, like, you know, don't be saying that around me. Like, me personally, like, once it gets to that, I cut people out of my life. I don't need that. You know, I'm proud of who I am. And if they see that it's funny or it's something that they can make fun of my background, my heritage, or whatnot, I don't need that negativity around me. So when it comes to being a minority, you should be proud of all moments of who you are. I don't see why you should be scared or intimidated to saying and call someone out that is bringing a black person or a Latino down, you know. And as far as being black and Latino, there's no, in my opinion, there's no distinction, you know. Like, if the person's from North Africa, South Africa, East, West, and Mexico, Central America, South America, unfortunately, I've seen, you know, certain beefs, even within Mexico, certain states over here in the U.S. that don't get along. And that's one of the worst things, that our own people destroy ourselves. And being a minority and seeing that, it's sad and unfortunate. And I've heard also the African Americans that their ancestors lived through slavery, and they might feel a certain kind of way about the certain people from their descendants from the King of Solomon that didn't go through slavery. They might feel a certain kind. I've heard and I've seen that they feel, certain people feel a certain kind of way from that, or the blacks that come from the islands that didn't have to go through slavery. There are people that might feel a certain kind of way, or the lighter tone skin or whatnot. I don't want to get into the names, the nicknames, or, you know, it's not good. And the thing is, we've been oppressed for so long that the last thing we need is for us to fight amongst each other. And being a minority here in Los Angeles, I have gotten to see that. I lived through it when I went to school. You know, and the people that know me, not once, for being a minority, being a Mexicano, was I ever ashamed. My dad rolling up in the jardinero truck or whatever. If someone had something to say, I'll say something back. You know, and if they had a problem, they knew what's up. And not once did I ever fall. Not once. Not once. And my family, the friends that know me, they know. It should never escalate to anything physical, even verbal. Unfortunately, there are people that are ignorant, that are not taught well at home, and look down on minorities. So, being a minority here in Los Angeles could be tough. You know, and especially it depends on what kind of job you're parents do, you know. I've known people that they are ashamed to say that, oh, that my mom's a housekeeper, or my dad's a jardinero, or my dad's a plomero, or my dad works in the factory, or or whatever the case may be, a very humble job. You know, no one should be ashamed of it. You should be ashamed when you're stealing and I can't say the word, but taking advantage of minors and stuff like that. That's a real dirtbag cockroach thing, you know. So you should never be ashamed of being a minority and you parents having, you know, a humble a humble job. And unfortunately, that's a case for some people here in Los Angeles that are minority. And the thing is, sometimes the term of a minority, I personally don't think it's good. I believe we're the majority. Just that the numbers show it. Just that the term has been ingrained in education, entertainment, and all sorts of areas where it needs to be put to the side, to be honest. And we need to come together. But as far as being a minority, that's pretty much the basis here in Los Angeles, California. So if you like what I have to say, please like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys on the next episode, episode 33, where I'll be talking about Latinx, or you know. So thank you for your time, and I'll see you guys on the next one.